Nestled in the rolling hills of upstate New York is majestic High Valley Farm, the residence of longtime Masters trustee Edgar Masters. He's the great-grandnephew of the school's founder, Eliza B. Masters, and he's stepping down from his position on the board at the end of this school year after a remarkable 50-year tenure. We visited Masters' 800-acre property in Copake Falls to discuss his time serving the school, Masters' traditions, history, and change over the past half-century. While Masters did not attend the school, as it was an all-girls one at the time, he was inspired by his father to preserve his family's legacy at Masters.
He was a man of many interests, did a variety of things, but the one thing that he did do that really appealed to me was his involvement with the Masters School. And I went to him and said, "Dad, when you're ready to retire from the board, could I be considered to be a member of the board?" And he picked right up on that. And for the year before I became a trustee, he had me join his Buildings and Grounds Committee, which introduced me to the school and how it functioned at the trustee and committee level. And then he chose to retire from the board. And in May of 1971, I became a trustee.
During his tenure, Masters oversaw great change, including the introduction of co-education in the mid-1990s. Masters himself was recognized as an honorary graduate of the first co-ed class in 1998.
In the mid-90s, the graduating class was at most maybe 35 students. So almost 4 times that number.
Yeah.
Next Saturday. That's a big change.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good change.
Why have you been on the board for so long? You could have walked away and you could have, stopped a long time ago. Why has it been such important work for you?
Well, in a way, the school is a family legacy. And for me, I think it's been, I've sort of probably, without saying it really, I've looked at it as my legacy. That makes it a little more personal than I think it should be. But I suspect that that's been a driving force for my involvement with the school. I've done it because I really have enjoyed the process. I'm not an educator. I got through college not as a very bright student, but I have found what we do as board members fascinating, challenging. It is a give and take process, but for me it's been just a great pleasure. And just plain fascinating, and I've loved every moment. And to be honest, I'm going to miss it.
Yeah. So,
but the years are marching on.
Yeah. So why was it time to step away at this point?
Well, there are a couple of reasons. I think I have done it, I guess, long enough, and I'm a little concerned that I'm not as good a trustee as I was 10 years ago, to put it plainly, in that. And then there's another area. My niece, Chrissy Masters Jones, joined the board 2 years ago. And I didn't want to leave the board when she joined, but I felt that now she was well established as a trustee. She's devoted a lot of time and energy to her being a trustee, and she's smart as a whip, and it was time for her to be the family trustee without having big uncle hanging around.
But you built another house down there.
The other smaller house down there because my dad was still alive, and as much as we were good friends and respected each other, I didn't want to have to face him in the morning if I had a hangover.
After the interview, Masters invited us for a tour of the farm, which is over 100 years old, and built by Edgar's great-grandfather, Frank Masters.
He came here because he loved to fish. and that was his hobby. And he was told that if he came to this area, there were really good trout streams. Then a acquaintance of his brought him up to this abandoned valley. He saw several streams here, and the low point down there, that if he put a dam in, he could have his own trout pond. So that was the beginning. The first thing he built up here was the dam for his trout pond, not a house. He had his priorities.
As we walked, he pointed out several intentional choices in the property's landscaping.
You see these two trees here. This one is beginning to fail a little bit, but these are copper beeches. When my grandfather came here, this was an abandoned valley, and where we're standing was just natural mountainside coming down, and he leveled the area and built the house and so on and so forth, and there were no trees around. He patterned his planting of trees after what was on the Esterwood estate.
Wow.
And these two copper beeches he planted here, reminiscent of what was at Esterwood.
He then showed us the fields, which are being maintained by a local farmer to grow rye.
So that's rye. It will turn a golden color. Each one of these little ones with a beard on it, call it what you will become a kernel of rye. These are some of the smaller ones that are falling off. It will swell in size, and that's what is grown.
Though his work at Masters may be coming to a close, Edgar should be staying busy. He's an avid car collector and is also spearheading a project in conjunction with other locals to restore a narrow-gauge train line at an old ironworks in his town. Masters says he plans to stay in touch with the school and attend future graduations, including a send-off for the class of 2021 this Saturday.
I love graduation because that's what it's all about. It's that group of seniors each year moving forward in their lives. And the school plays a small role in that, but a crucial one.
Logan Schijano, TBN, Copake Falls, New York.